There are many assumptions about the true meaning of 666. Most of them are pure superstition, and the rest are theories or hypotheses at best. One of the true esoteric meanings of 666 is a code of limitation placed on the mind, which is also restricted the entire planet for a time. Pistis Sophia chapter 23. Jesus, which is the regenerative seed within the individual, curtails the operations of the pathways of limited perfection established by the archons. The time period of 6 months to the left and 6 to the right is a symbolic reference for the release of the lower 6 levels of binding that has been placed around all planetary spheres like Earth. The code to restrict the pathway of perfection is 666. It has been placed on humanity as a whole, the planet itself and other planets like this one in other galaxies. Again, there are other esoteric meanings of 666. This is just one level of the sod. How do we know this limitation to be true? Man embodies this limitation even in his own beliefs. The man who wears his religion as a badge of honor claims his God to be infinite. But at the very sight of something he or she doesn't understand, they begin to put limitations on their eternal God, its creation, and all its possibilities. Their God's unlimited manifestations or creation stops at their individual capacity to understand, while the godless or the non-believers immediately places a limitation on himself because he thinks there is no possibility of anything beyond him that created the earth and all in it. He believes only in what he sees. But once you have seen, you no longer have any need for belief, because whatever it is has already manifested or has presented itself to you. They rest their subordinate logical minds on science, not understanding that even the science that they put their trust in has an axiom that says, all things must have a root. This is the time of the fullness. The word fullness is taken from the Greek word pleroma. Pistis Sophia chapter 1 and 1. The first lesson is to know that there is a vast ordering of living creation. This is the pleroma, the fullness of the hierarchy and the unfolding of life, which functions not only through one Lord, but through a myriad of rulers of the eons, the constellation fathers, the paired and the unpaired with the angels of the indivisible left, the emanations originally sent into creation by the office of the Holy Spirit, and the paired with the angels of the right, the office of the Son. There is a holy liturgy and holy orders as well as unholy rulers and servitors administering the many realms. You're about to get a peek into the different realms and life forms within those realms. It is not a coincidence the amount of emphasis and coverage UFOs have been getting recently. You're getting an introduction. They are slowly rolling out a new reality. Only this recent rush stems from the beings of a fallen stock. Change is coming, pertaining to the simplistic ways we have been taught the complexities within the order of the universe. In this new upper fourth and fifth dimensional way of thinking, all humanity has to ascend this limitation. No longer will it suffice to think the Father and the Son as the only creators. You will be introduced to many other offices of the Father and the Son universe that were not known to you, other creator gods, benevolent and fallen beings within the universe. Also great men and women who have transcended human form and has become creator gods, emissaries, ophanims, or ascended masters of the Most High God. Enoch, for example. Genesis 5 and 24. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Enoch ascended and was removed before his time. Hebrews 11 and 5. By faith Enoch translated, that he should not see death, and was not found because God had translated him. And before his translation, he had his testimony that he pleased God. Webster 1828, translated, conveyed from one place to another, removed to heaven without dying. Seal portion 93 and 89. And it was this law that was lived in its fullness by Enoch and those of the city of Enoch who were taken to the kingdom of the Father. Not only was Enoch removed, but all the city. Zohar 37b. This is the source of the book known as the Book of Enoch. When God took him, he showed him the supernal mysteries of the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the leaves and the branches of all which can be found in this book. Zohar 56b. God removed Enoch from the earth and took him up to the highest heavens, and there presented him to the wonderful treasures, including the 45 mystical key combinations of the graven letters which are used by the highest ranks of angels. Enoch elevated and became an Ophanim, an angel, and was given the keys to unlock the 45 code combinations of Yod-He, Vahu-He, or YHWH. Keys of Enoch introduction. While I was in the act of prayer, calling upon the name of the Father, asking to know the meaning of life, for what reason I was called into the world, my room suddenly became full of a different type of light. And in the presence of this light, a great being stood before me and introduced that he was a master Ophanim, Enoch. Enoch is not the only example of ascension. Ezra was also taken up. Fourth book of Ezra, 14 verse 8. Lay up in your heart the signs that I have shown you, the dreams you have seen, the interpretations you have heard, for you shall be taken up from among men, and henceforth you shall live with my son. These stories, parables, and mythologies are giving the students a view of the false sense of limitation placed on the spirit body by the restrictions of the natural man. Man and woman is both spirit and natural. The spirit is eternal and unlimited. The only limitation is when the soul occupies the body. In the spirit world, this is considered the only death. 1 Corinthians 15 and 44. It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spirit body. There is a natural body and there is a spirit body. Many of these things have been kept away from us for various reasons. Some by the wickedness of our rulers and some intentional. Because of the condition of humanity in our present cycle. We had fallen into a wicked state and would use this knowledge for material gain or wickedness, as proven over time. Look at what we have done with the limited understanding we have of the universe, how we violate all laws and profane all creations for self-gain or pleasure. But at the transition of this cycle, the book once sealed by Daniel must be opened in order to tear away the veil of limitation. But new wine cannot be poured into old bottles. You must have a renewal of the mind and the body to get this understanding. Romans 12 and 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. Many of these revelations are far out of the realm of what we've been taught to be possible. But in the end, only those who have made themselves ready for this flood of knowledge will transcend the valley, scale the hills, and sit on top of the mountain with a bird's eye view of our Father's many mansions. This message is called The Land of Eden in America and its Garden.